All right, we can get started. Welcome everyone. Welcome to this database course. And today and tomorrow are going to be two demo sessions, and these are publicly available. Anyone can join using this Zoom links. And our actual class is going to start from this next week, from this coming Monday. So what I'm going to cover today and tomorrow, a quick introduction, course curriculum, course structure, and some of the basic concepts and some, you know, the fundamental understanding of database architecture, database connection, and the database internals. So today and tomorrow we'll try to explore a few of the fundamental concepts around this database architecture. And then the actual course is going to start by coming Monday. That's where the all the registered students will get access and get the private link for the Zoom session. And using that link, we can continue with the further courses. So what I'm gonna make it today. So again, today and tomorrow, who are attending this demo session, feel free to unmute yourself and ask any questions if you have it. Questions regarding this particular course. First 10 minutes or 15 minutes, we'll talk about this course curriculum, and you can ask any questions around that. The course timing, course structures, fee structures, or whatever question you have it, you can ask it. And remaining 1 hour will be explore about the database architecture. And during that time, you can ask any technical questions or any questions you came across the interview or anything you want to clarify. You can ask anything technical related while explaining the concepts. But for now, if you have any questions regarding this course or the timings, you can feel free to ask in next around 20 to 30 minutes.
Hi, sir.
Yep.
Sir, actually, how long the course will last, sir?
We'll talk about that. Please
Okay.
stand by. I'll explain everything.
Okay.
All right. So what I'm gonna cover today, I'll start with the introduction about me, and then I'll start explain about the course curriculum, what all the content I'm gonna be, this course is gonna be included. And then I'm gonna talk about what are the course fee structures, what are the course timings, and what is the course duration. And then followed by, I'll talk about a Google Drive access. What are the Google Drives? What are the materials we'll be getting? And we'll talk about a WhatsApp group. So we have a dedicated WhatsApp group for registered student where we can make use of this WhatsApp group for any questions, queries, and any technical help or not only related to this particular course, anything outside of this course. You are already working and you need some assistance or help. You can make use of our dedicated WhatsApp group. You can post the questions, queries over there. Or you recently attended some interview and you're unable to answer few of the questions, you can post those questions over there, and then I'll be clarifying all those questions. And then the payment mode, how can we make a payment? What are the payment options? We can explain that. And then what are the prerequisites for this particular course? What we should be knowing before registering for this course? And then followed by database concepts. So database concept includes couple of things. What we can discuss today and tomorrow, like database architecture, networking, Linux basics, some of the rack concepts and database types, rack versus standalone, and many more things. We'll explore some of the technical stuffs, but for now we'll talk about these things. So I got a couple of pings last few days. Who will be teaching? And is there any third person teaching or delivering this particular course? So it is no other third person or no other third party vendor who will be delivering this course. It is purely on me. I'm the one who will be taking this entire course. And coming to my overall experience, I'll be having around 16 years of IT experience, 16 to 17 years of IT experience. And this entire 16 years or 17 years, I purely worked on Oracle, core Oracle foundation, and I explored most of the Oracle products, starting with Oracle DBA, Oracle App DBA, Oracle Data Guard, Oracle EBS, Oracle OEM, Oracle Engineering System, Exadata, Supercluster, Solarize, and Exalogic, Oracle ODA, and my entire 15 or 16 years of career is purely on exploring the Oracle products. So I'm purely dedicated for Oracle concept, Oracle technologies, and I got an opportunity or got a chance to explore most of the Oracle products. And I did serve for many customers, many clients on this Oracle field. So Oracle is my primary key skills, and then I'm continuing to do support in the Oracle field. Having said that, did I limited myself with this Oracle field? No, whenever I get a chance, I'm open to learn and I'm ready to learn any other secondary skills. With that, I also expanded my skill set to other database. Like I also worked in IBM DB2. I also worked in SAP HANA. I also worked in MongoDB, PostgreSQL, and a few other open source databases. And with that, did I limit it to my knowledge to only database field? No. Again, I got few more opportunities to work on some other technologies other than database, like DevOps, like a cloud. I also worked in Oracle Cloud and I also worked in AWS. I also worked in the DevOps field like means I enhanced my skill set. I learned few of the DevOps concept like Ansible, Terraform, and cookbooks, Chef, Jenkins, and I made use of this DevOps skill sets to do some automation scripts in my database day-to-day activities. So it's all matter of how much you are interested, how much time you are investing to learn these extra skills, so that we can make use of these skills to automate your day-to-day activities in the database field. So that is my overall experience, like this entire 16 to 17 years. Most of the part I spent in Oracle field and explored most of the many of the Oracle products, and also expanded my knowledge to outside of Oracle, other database skills and other technologies. So with that, what are my major accomplishment, what I did it in the Oracle field? So I have done the a couple of major activities in the Oracle field, like entire data center build for few of the customer and entire data center migrations for one of the insurance sector. And I worked for many sectors in the Oracle field, starting with e-commerce and insurance and also some of the airlines. And then these are like major activities what I performed in my entire career. One is entire data center build from the scratch for one of the customer e-commerce, and one the entire data center migration from one data center to another data center for the insurance sector. And on top of that, the other activities like your rack build or data guard build or day-to-day support and performance tuning, all are like regular activity as a DBA to do that. So that is my major accomplishment in the Oracle field. And then along with that, again, as I told, I have not limited my knowledge to this Oracle field. I expanded to other database skills, other technologies. That is all based upon my interest and my time, what I invest. Right? That's about me, about your instructor. And there is no other third person or any third party vendor is delivering this course. It's purely on me. I'll be the one who will be interacting with you and then delivering this entire course. Right. So I hope that is clear. So that is because last few days, many people are pinging me who is delivering this course. Is there any other persons or any other third party vendor is coming and teaching? No, it's all about me. Right. So that is a quick intro about me. Again, you might have already seen about my delivering style and the way of teaching in my YouTube channel or a few other or whatever the sessions I've taken in my YouTube channel. So again, so we'll be continue in the same manner. Will be purely this course is based upon a real-time practical live demonstration. We'll be continuing with the similar pattern. Right. So with that, I'll jump on to the next topic, the course curriculum. It's very important, right? So we are all here to learn, and we should first understand what all the content this particular course includes and what we are going to be delivering in this particular course. And is there any topic missing in this entire course curriculum, whatever I formed? So believe me, this entire course curriculum, give me 1 minute, guys. All right, guys, sorry for that. So it is important to understand the course curriculum and what all the topics included in this course and what all topics need to be included in that. What are the topics are missing? What topics you are expecting? You have to be clear on that first. And then if anything, any suggestions, you can please feel free to ping me or suggest me that I can include that one. And you believe me, this entire course is prepared by me based upon my experience. Whatever this 15, 16 years of experience in this IT world, as a Oracle DBA, what activities you are doing it for the day in and day out for any customer. As a DBA, what all the expected activities you are supposed to deliver or supposed to work, all real-time based scenarios, everything will be clubbed together and then form this particular course. If you can go down and compare any other Oracle course curriculum by any other vendor or even Oracle University, so this course curriculum is much more advanced or much more beyond that other vendors or even Oracle support or Oracle University. So why? Because as I told, this course curriculum is formed based upon my experience, based upon this entire 15, 16 years of Oracle experience, what I have it. Based on that, as a DBA, if you're working for a client, what all activities you're supposed to do, you're expected to do, all put together and then form this particular course. So here is the course curriculum link. I can quickly open that. Right. So this is the course curriculum link. So you can take a look at this URL. I can ping that after this course. So if you can go ahead and then I'm not going to explain this. I explained many times in my previous demo sessions. You can watch those demo sessions as well, which are available on my YouTube channel. So there'll be a lot of content starting with the environmental setup and setting up with the networking, understanding of IP addresses, DHCP, DNS, and installation of your Oracle software and creation of your database, manual method and GUI method, understanding of the architecture. Again, there will be a lot of architectural changes between the 11G, 12C, 19C. So we can change all of them, like what are the changes happened, we can explain all of them here. And then understanding of the internals, the Oracle administration internals and different the fundamental blocks for my database, the logical architecture, physical architecture. Again, I'm not going to explain. There'll be a lot of things are written here. You can just take a look. And again, there are a lot of things are not written also, which will be covered. But so believe me, like this particular, once we start explaining about each concept, whatever we mentioned here, not only this much will be a lot of things to deliver here. So, but only thing is which is not mentioned over here. So we'll start with the logical concept here. We'll start with the administrative concepts here and the physical concept. What is logical structure and physical structure and how this database works. All those will be covered. And again, the ASM, we'll talk about ASM architecture, and we'll talk about the CDBs and PDBs, multi-tenant architecture, and we'll talk about this networking, TNS, listeners, and how we can connect, what are the challenges everyone will face. The user account management, what is the permission, privileges, roles, and security and advanced features we'll talk about here. And your database backups and recoveries, your RMAN, conventional backup, hot backup, cold backup, and your database cloning, how we can use RMAN, restore, recover, RMAN duplicate, RMAN active database duplicate, a lot of things. And patching your ASM home, Oracle home, patching your database. Again, a lot of naming convention, PSU, CPU, bundle patch, one-off patch, merge patch, interim patch, overlay patch, a lot of naming conventions, how this patching works. We'll explore more on that. And database upgradations, how you can perform your database upgradations. And your standby database, how you can build a standby database. Standby goes out of sync, your FRA full, and standby is not in sync with your prod. What are the possible calls? How you can make it sync? How you can make it roll forward? And then cell scripting automation. How can I write small cell scriptings, make my day-to-day activities automation, and export and import the logical object, your table, your schema export and import. Then we'll talk about a few new features about a 12C and 19C. And then for a few of the your performance tuning, your AWR report, ADDM report, ASH report, and then based upon your ADDM report, ASH report, AWR report, how can I rebuild index, gather stats, and how can I do table move, table shrink, and table partition or the table fragmentation? And then how can I make my database performance? My query execution plan, how can I read that? How can I generate that? My query is taking more time. How can I tune my queries? How can I handle that performance tuning scenarios? So we'll talk about here chapter number 20 to 25 about performance tuning, and based upon the what are the real time exercise. So one of the most common questions what you can get, till yesterday my query used to run fine, but today my query is taking more time. So how can I deal with those kind of real time scenarios? And then proactive monitoring and alerting, like how can I proactively monitor my database instance, and how can I proactively monitor my file system? How can I proactively monitor my table space usage? Like if you have a OEM tool, then no need to worry. OEM has automated way of monitoring and you can set the alert over there. If we don't have OEM, then you can manually monitor them using a shell script, and then schedule them or monitor them via cron tab. And then you can send an email alert whenever instance is down, whenever listener is down, whenever table space limit reached, whenever the file system limit reached, you can send an email alert using cron tab by writing a small automation script using a shell script or the Python scripting. Right. With that, then we'll explore more on the resume writing and cover letter. I'll go over my own resume and cover letter, and you can make use of the same copy and then you can modify or update according to your skill sets, your experience. So I'll explain about few of the tips how we can write a strong resume. And then there'll be already thousands of interview questions are written and which is already available in Google Drive. You can go ahead and then prepare that single document which has thousands of resumes. So you can easily crack the interviews by referring the single document which we prepared already. And then we'll go over that and you can also prepare using that same document. And finally, there will be a mock interview. Again, this is not a mandatory, it is subjected to your interest. If you're interested, then you can register for the mock interview. I can connect with you one to one and then I'll drive through, like I can navigate, I can ask the questions. It's like a real time experience. As a real interview, I'll be asking questions, you will be answering them. So that's going to give you confidence. And once the interview is done, I'll be giving you feedback. What could you have done better or how you have performed in the interview? Are you really ready for the interview? So all the feedback I'll be giving you after this mock interview. Again, this is not a mandatory thing. It is subjected to your interest. If you're interested, you can go for that. All right. So that's a quick update on the course curriculum. Again, there'll be few questions around that. Again, last few days also I got a few questions from the students. They all mentioned that uh, can you include OEM, Oracle Enterprise Manager? I don't see that uh, mentioned in the course. Can you include Golden Gate? I have not seen that Golden Gate is mentioned in this course curriculum. Can you include wallets, and can you include Oracle licensing? So those are not part of the DBA course. Those are a separate course itself. If you want to learn OEM itself is a separate course. If you want to learn the Golden Gate itself is a separate course. So those are the concepts which will not be covered in this particular course. This course is a core fundamental database administrative course where as a DBA, what all activities you are subjected to do, all will be covered and this course curriculum is formed. So if at all, if you are looking for some a particular course, OEM is a separate course, your Golden Gate is a separate course, your Oracle licensing is a separate course, your Oracle security or advanced wallet concept is a separate course. So those are delivered as a separate course. But again, I'm not taking those courses. Maybe in the future, I'll be exploring on those courses. But this is a limited a course as a DBA, what is expected to be delivered, or you're working in any client environment, all will be included here. So on top of this, if there's any particular topic which is missed, you are currently working in the client environment, which will be taken it as the extra topic and that will be delivered at the end of the course. And again, if it is subjected to if anyone or like everyone interested in this particular topic, then I can talk about that. Let's say, for example, I want to set up some OEM alerts. Yes, that can be delivered as a one session. Like, I have some OEM setup in-house. I can log into that OEM. I can show you demo, like how can you set up the OEM alerts. And then you want to know some basics of licensing, Oracle licensing, how it works. So I can take one extra sessions. I can tell you what are the different types of licensing Oracle will provide and what will be the cost for that, and then I can explore some of the basics, not in depth. And then I can talk about some wallets. You talked about Oracle Advanced Security and Wallet. I cannot take entire course, but I can take one or two sessions. What is wallet? What is TD? How it works? How you can configure? I can take one session with a like demo. So those kind of small topics which can be included, but if you are looking for an entire course, then that will be a separate course that will not be included in this course. Right. I'll take a pause here. Any questions? And also I can see few questions in the chat here. Again, feel free to
Oh,
unmute and ask the questions. If not, you can use the chat window and you can post your questions here. I'll be looking at those
there one
questions.
more concept is missed on that list, I think.
What is that?
MV refresh concept is there. MV materialized view.
Right. So again, there'll be, if you talk about MV, before MV, you
Yeah.
have to understand what is views,
Okay.
right? That is again your basic SQL foundations.
Yeah.
So first you need to understand your basic SQL foundations, then you can jump onto MV.
Okay.
So that is
Yeah.
not covered here. Your foundation of SQLs that you need to be already aware of.
No, it is also one of the part and Oracle. It is also one of part of Oracle and then.
Right. There'll be a lot of things. Again, if you want me to talk about what is view, what is synonym, what is tables, there'll be a lot of a foundation for this database admin course, not the SQL course. SQL course is your foundation. You have to first read through your SQL foundation. Again, I'm coming to that particular course. What are the prerequisites you need to have? Right? There'll be a lot of other basic foundations. If we start talking about all of them, and we'll not be able to complete this database course even for 3 4 months. Right? Please stand by. I can cover that in the prerequisites course. Then you will understand more.
Hello,
Oh,
sir.
yep.
Actually, SQL is fundamental. Can you take one or two classes for basics of SQL?
I'll come to that point. So in the prerequisites, point number 7, I'll explain that. So how can we do this one fundamental of SQLs? We already have this some documents in the Google Drive. You can just refer that. That's more than enough. I can already once you get the Google access, you can see those all the concepts.
Yeah,
Uh,
and
Hello, sir. Will you be covering query tuning, like performance of a query and all?
Again, if you see here, it will be only a few topics on chapter number 22, 23, and 25. There will be your AWR report, ADDM report. My query is taking more time. What to check, where to check, and based upon your query, once you check your execution plan, understand that based upon that execution plan, how you can tune that particular queries by doing your gather stats, index rebuild, and your table move, table fragmentation, table shrink. So that is your part of your performance tuning. Here it will be covered in this end of this course.
So you will cover reading execution plan as well, or
Right.
okay?
Malik, can we get some information on hosting the database on cloud, AWS?
Again, that is out of the topic.
Okay.
OCI will not be covered. OCI or AWS will not be covered here.
Okay.
Malik, which pages can be covered in this topic?
That's a simple topic that can be covered.
Okay.
Malik, here Arman and this data card will be covered fully or only basic level?
It's end to end.
End to end.
Again,
Okay.
in Armen itself, if you talk, Armen itself is a separate course. But believe me, in this particular course, we'll be covering everything related to Armen. Your backup, restore, recovery, Armen cloning, Armen active device duplicate, Armen duplicate based upon the backup, your absolute backup, your expired backup, your what is retention period, what is your control file auto backup, and what are the tuning parameters in the Armen. And you can get the thousands of questions in Armen itself. So everything
Okay.
will be covered here. And your hundreds of Armen scenarios, your control file lost, your SP file lost, your P file lost, your data file lost, your table space is corrupted, your single block is corrupted, your single data file is missing or single data file is corrupted. What are the different ways to recover them? So most of them will be covered here.
When you are going to start that OEM concept actually?
Again, not at the moment. It may be in the future. But right now, I'm not taking any other courses other than this database and rack.
Can you take basics of Exadata or is it another out of syllabus?
No, will not cover any Exadata.
Okay.
Malik, can you cover data guard in this course?
The data guard is a part of this course. We have everything in the data guard. So how you can build a standby database, your standby goes out of sync, your FRA is full, and how you can make your data guard sync if it goes out of sync. What are the different types of your standby database? What are the different modes of your standby database? And what is DR drill, switch over, switch back, what is failover? A lot of concepts on the data guard will be covered end to end here.
Do we have here a silent mode concept actually?
What is?
A silent mode installation database.
Yes,
Like.
that's part of this course.
Okay.
We'll be giving a demo on the GUI mode installation, and already we have the documents on the silent mode installation, how we can install it. So if needed, we can take one demo on that. There are like multiple ways to install your databases. So all will be explained or explored here. All right.
Yes, one question.
Yes, go ahead.
Like I am aware of Oracle Cloud Basics DBA, okay, on the premises, but I am also interested in learning AWS on Oracle DBA Cloud.
Again, will not be
Actually-
covered anything on the cloud.
Mhm.
No cloud, no AWS, no OCI, nothing. It's all database here.
So that is the point. So like if you have any batches on the AWS, so I will be interested because most of the
Right now, I'm not taking any other courses other than the database course and rack course. If anything, probably please stand by. I'll be posting my update.
Yes, thank you.
All right. So great questions. Let's. Yeah, go ahead.
Hello. Sir,
Yeah.
I have one query. In case the organization also will using Windows, right?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
in that case,
No, that's a great question. So probably I could have mentioned that. I'll mention it in the prerequisites, that one. So what is that? This particular course is purely based upon Linux environment. So if anyone thought they expected that I'll be teaching anything related to Windows installation on Windows, no. So this is based upon the Linux. So nothing on the Windows based here. We'll not be covering anything installation based on Windows and learning based upon the Windows Oracle installation. No, it's a purely based upon Linux installation. All right. Let's quickly jump on. That's about the course curriculum.
Malik,
Yes.
can you provided the lab access for practice?
We'll talk about that in the chapter number here, point number 7. I can talk about that. What is lab, how we can access, and all those things. Right. Please stand by. I'll take questions in a minute now. So again, this is the course curriculum, what I just covered. You can go and then register for, if you're interested, click here to register. Or you can go to this second link, that is for the upcoming batch. So if you're not able to join this current batch, so I'll be posting here. So what are the upcoming batch? This is the upcoming batch, what we're talking about. Database course we are starting today with the demo sessions, and we have a rack batch getting started the next week. So again, feel free to register for that and get a demo link for that, for the rack batch if you're interested. So then you can keep monitor and keep watching on this particular link for the upcoming timings or the batches, whatever coming in future days. Right. With that, what is course durations, fee structures, and the timings? So again, if you go here and click on this register, so the registration link will be opened and you can put your details and register for that. And if you can click on this demo links, that explains about what are the course durations, course timing, all those details here. If I can put down here. So this is the weekdays batch. We'll be having only 3 days in a week, Monday to Wednesday. And in IST time zone, I'm talking about a Monday to Wednesday in IST time zone and Sunday to Tuesday in EST time zone. It will be 1 day or 12 hours behind IST time zone. The timing is going to be 11 8:30 a.m. IST to 10:30 a.m. 2 hours every day, 3 days in a week, and that will be probably it's 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. in EST time zone. 2 hours morning IST time zone and late night in the EST time zone will be 3 hours. So 2 hours and the 3 days in a week, a Monday to Wednesday or Sunday to Tuesday in EST time zone, and we'll be able to complete in 45 working days, like in the course duration, or maybe you can say 35 to 45 days. So it's only of, I'm talking about Monday to Wednesday. So if you add those weekends, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it may comes up around 60 days, a complete 2 months course. But the delivering classes will be around a 35 to between a 40 or 41, 42. It may varies based upon how much concept we'll be exploring it. It may vary for 3, 4 days here and there. That's the duration. So you can say roughly with all the weekends, it will be of 2 months. And if it's a too late, like some people, I already got response in the WhatsApp that the course is of going to be 2 months, which is too long for us. I want a quick course. I want to learn it quickly. And that's where this Google Drive access will come into picture. Once you register for this course, I'll be granting access on the Google Drive. Hopefully, who are registered for this course, they already got access on the Google Drive. So they might have already seen this Google Drive access. So what this Google Drive contains, this Google Drive contains link 1, that's a course material. So we'll be having all the database course materials, the PPTs, workbook, lab exercise, all the softwares. We'll be having 4 links. Google Drive links will be shared. Already registered student might have got these links in the WhatsApp group. Yesterday I pinged and yesterday I granted access to everyone. So the link 1 is the course materials where you can get all the course content, PPTs, workbook, lab exercise, all those in this link 1. Link 2 is other information. Other information like your interview questions, answers, your softwares, and your cell script automations, monitoring scripts, a lot of things here. So most important here is interview questions and answers. So you can go to the second link and you can prepare yourself with that interview questions and answers. And the link 3 is the previous batch recordings. Previous batch recording meaning whatever the previously like last week or last month what we completed that previous batch, all those previous batch recordings will be available. You can watch them in advance. Like today you are attending this live classes, you can go back and refer that previous batch recordings and prepare yourself so that you can make this today's session interactive. You can ask more questions if any concepts are missed or anything you did not understand. You can ask those more questions during the live classes. Or you already know the basic concept of database. You are a DBA, you are already working. So I want to complete this entire DBA course in next 1 week. So you can feel free to watch this all the recordings so that you can brush up yourself and you can prepare yourself for the interview. So that's your previous batch recordings. You will be getting it in the Google Drive. And then we'll be having this current batch recording. Every day, whatever the sessions we'll be conducting live will be recorded and then will be uploaded to the Google Drive immediately after the class. So by, due to some urgent work, you are unable to attend this today's class. So if you miss the today's class, you can go to this current batch recordings and you can watch it, whatever the session you missed it. Right, all this Google Drive link access will be given to that registered student and you can watch the previous batch recording or you can watch the current batch recordings. You can get all the course materials, information, everything here. And again, this Google Drive access is a lifetime access. So there's no restriction on that. And even you can download all this content locally into your laptop, no restriction on that. Right, that's about the Google Drive and that's about the course fees. And if you're feeling that course duration is too much, then you have a chance to work on this previous batch recordings where you can go on your own phase. And even if you are like totally new, you are unable to catch up the things, and then you can make use of this previous batch and current batch recording. You can watch that repeatedly and then try to understand and try to catch up the things. And on top of that, if you have any questions or queries, you can always feel free to connect with me or ping me. Right, so that is about the course duration and the course timings. And then the fee structure. This course is a paid training, which is of a 10K, that's 125 US dollar, and will be covered via Zoom session. How we are attended this live demo sessions will be continued with the Zoom sessions, and we'll be getting that a private Zoom link. We'll be sharing in the WhatsApp group. Post these demo sessions, we'll be using that a private Zoom link for the regular classes starting from the Monday. We'll be using this 19C versions. If you might have seen here, we'll be exploring the difference between 11G, 12C, 19C installation, the architecture wise 11G, 12C, 19C, what are the differences? We'll be explored all those different various versions, what are the changes happened. But apart from that, in this entire course will be based upon the 19C version. So will not be covered anything on the 11G or 12C. Only the changes between 11G to 12C, 12C to 19C, what are the changes that happened will be covered. But this course is purely based upon 19C version. Right. So that is a course duration, course timing, and the fee structure, and a Google Drive access. That's the important thing where only the registered student will get access on this Google Drive. As I told, who are registered from last 1 week, all might have got access on the Google Drive. And if anyone has not get, so I'll be granting it access after this today's demo session. Right. And then other thing is WhatsApp group. So we have this dedicated WhatsApp group for each batch. So we'll be added to this WhatsApp group, all the registered students. All the interactions, all the questions, queries will be using this WhatsApp group. So basically, if you are stuck with any installation, or if you are unable to understand the particular concept, and you have some questions after the class, or you already working for a client and you got some activity for that client and you don't know how to proceed, or you recently attended for some interview and few of the interview questions you are unable to answer, all of the questions, all of the technical challenges, and not only related to this particular course, anything outside of this course, you can post all those questions and queries in the WhatsApp group so that it will be benefited to other students as well. And then I'll be there to assist you on that. I'll be taking all those questions, concerns, queries. I'll be responding you all those questions. So we'll primarily use this WhatsApp group as a primary mode of communications. And on top of that, if you want to talk to me or you want to talk to some personal things like you need some advice, you need to uh, currently you're working and you're having these many years of experience and you need some career advice like what is my next plan, next path, what should I learn, and how to prepare. So if you want to talk to me personally, then we'll have a private conversations and I'll talk to you and you can give me a call. I'm happy to assist you and I'm happy to help you on that. So those are like other things. But other than that, anything you want to discuss, we can use the WhatsApp group as a primary mode of communication because the whatever the question you have it, the same questions will be in someone's minds as well, some other students as well. So rather than everyone pinging me one to one, make use of WhatsApp group so that it will be benefited to everyone. Right. So I have added all the registered student yesterday to the WhatsApp group. So probably you might have seen my ping yesterday. I have shared all the most of the details. So we'll be using the same WhatsApp group going forward, and that's our primary mode of communications. Again, this WhatsApp group, is it only limited to this course? No. This WhatsApp group will be again lifetime access. Likewise, this Google Drive is a lifetime access. WhatsApp group also will be lifetime access, provided you can keep this WhatsApp group active. You have to ask questions, you have to make it interactive, and you have to make that group active. Keep posting the questions, keep posting your challenges, and then everyone will be answering, everyone will be communicating each other. Right? So you might have faced some issues and you post it in WhatsApp group. Already the same issue will be faced by some other student and he already fixed it. Even he can respond it to you, and we can mutually help each other and learn this particular course, and then enhance our knowledge by sharing each other and helping each other. That's the motto behind a common WhatsApp group. How it can be help benefited or useful for all the students. Right, so that's about the course durations, course timing, fee structure, and the Google Drive access and the WhatsApp group. And I'll take a pause here. Any questions so far on the course curriculum or the course structures, fees, timing, duration, or the Google Drive or the WhatsApp group access?
So what about remaining 2 days, Thursday and Friday?
No, we'll not be covering. Thursday and Friday we'll be covering the RAC course.
Only 2 days for rack course and 3 days for this Oracle DBA.
Right.
Okay.
Correct. So any questions? I'll take a pause here for a minute if anyone has any questions so far. All right. Take it as a no. I'll talk to the next point. The payment mode. As I told, this particular course is a paid one. The course fees is 10K or 125 US dollar. There will be multiple payment modes. How you can do GPay, UPI, or bank transfer, wire transfer, or if you're outside of India, you can do a Western Union or MoneyGram. There are multiple ways. So you can feel free to ping me on my WhatsApp number or on my cell number, any of this number, WhatsApp or cell number. I can guide you through a payment process. I can drive through the payment mode, how you can make the payment mode and other things. Right, you can make use of this WhatsApp number or cell number, or you can give me a call or give me a ping. I can further assist you on that. That probably I can ping in the chat as well. You can take a note of my numbers and you can, or this other number, I can guide you through that payment process. Right. With that, again, now important things. What are the prerequisites? Important to understand these prerequisites, because if you don't meet these prerequisites and if you go ahead and then register for this course and you might be not up to date or not, you might not be able to catch up the things. You might be lagging in the course. Very first questions, who can attend this particular course? So anyone can attend this particular course. Like if you are a new and you don't know anything on the IT, still you will be able to attend this course. And you already have experience in the IT. You're already working on non-technical field. You're working as some support, not a database. Still, you can attend this particular course. This is made up of non-technical person as well, but you are already working in some other fields in the IT. You already have experience in the database. You already have 1 year, 2 year, 5 years, 10 years of experience. Still, you can able to attend this particular course to brush up your knowledge, because this course, as I mentioned in the earlier beginning, I prepared this course content based upon what are the real-time challenges DBAs will be facing. As a DBA, if you're working for a customer A or the client A, as a DBA, what you are supposed to do day in and day out, from the beginners, from the scratch till the advanced level. Everything will be covered in this particular course. Till advanced level meaning as a DBA, what you are supposed to work for that client. Everything will be included in this particular course. So even though if you're working as a DBA and you have 5 years, 10 years of experience, doesn't matter. Go ahead and then register for this course so that you can brush up the concept by reading the previous batch recordings, or by going through this all the current batch recordings, and you can brush up your knowledge. Right. So no worries, anyone, if you are new or you are already working as a DBA, or you are just working in the IT as a non-technical field and you want to enter into this DBA field, anyone can attend this particular course. So you think this course will be best suited for them. What is the other prerequisites? Somebody asked about the SQLs. Not only SQLs, you should know this basics of Windows, how this Windows operating system, Windows, your laptop or desktop works. If you don't know like how to turn on, how to log into your Windows server, how to log into your Linux server, then there will be a little bit challenges. So because you will be installing couple of softwares on your Windows laptop or your Windows desktop, whatever you have it. So you don't know how to install those softwares and all, and then this course might be challenging, because you first know the basics, how your Windows, how you can log into your Windows system, how you can install the softwares. Then only this course makes sense. And then basics of SQLs. You should know the how SQL queries works. What are the SQLs? If you don't know these SQLs queries and all, then what happens? Whatever the query I am running it, and you may see that how this query syntax, what's the syntax, how we should write in this particular format. So then this course is going to be a little bit challenging for you. So with that, what we have it in our Google Drive, we have some basics of SQLs. So you can go and then read those documents first, which covers your basics. And we have some basics of Linux. You can go and then read those basics commands so that you can able to catch up the course, whatever I'm teaching it. If you don't know these basics, and if you still register for this course, what happens? Well, I'm explaining the daily concept, you may feel that little bit of difficulties in understanding, and you have to go back, put some effort, and dedicate your some time, watch that recordings again and again, and then each and every command, whatever I'm using day in and day out, search that command in the Google, search that command in our Google Drive, understand what that command is, or you can post it in our WhatsApp group what this command does, so that you can learn. You can prepare your own notes, each and every Linux command what I'm filing, each and every SQL query what I'm filing, so that by making your own notes for each and every command, each and basic SQLs, each and every Linux command what I'm firing, likewise you can able to learn and you can able to catch up the course what I'm explaining it. If you don't do those kind of things, and then you might be lagging in the course, and you have to watch the recordings on your own face repeatedly and understand the concept. And even on top of that, if you have any more questions, queries, use our WhatsApp group and post your questions over there so that you can up to date. Otherwise, you'll be keep lagging. Right? That's the important thing, what you should be aware of before registering this course. And somebody asked about the lab. So the lab will be on your own laptop or desktop. The lab setup will be done using Oracle VirtualBox on your own laptop or desktop. So for this, you should have minimum 10 GB RAM and 100 GB SSD hard disk in your laptop or desktop. If you don't have this minimum requirement, you'll not be able to set up a lab on your laptop. And if you're not able to set up lab, then you'll not be able to do a hands-on. And if you're not able to do a hands-on, then you can register for this course. But your intention or idea is to, I have to do all the activities, whatever I'm teaching daily with my hands-on experience, then you should have minimum this configuration in your laptop so that you can do a lab hands-on. So one important criteria for all the DBAs, if you don't do hands-on experience, and then whatever you're learning in this course, you'll be able to catch up the things at this moment when I'm explaining, when I'm giving you or when I'm showing you the demo. But after a 2-3 weeks or after a month, you'll be forgetting that particular concept because if you are not done the hands-on experience, only way to remember the things permanently or forever is to do your hands-on experience. You had to put your hands in the lab and perform that activity. Once you perform that activity, you'll never forget that concept. Even if you forget that concept, within a few seconds you will be able to recollect that, because performing a hands-on is very very important to keep the concept forever, and you'll never forget the things if you do a hands-on. So for that you should have this minimum hardware requirement. Right. I'll take a pause here if any questions so far.
Hello, sir.
Yep.
Sir, actually, this basis of Windows and Linux knowledge and SQL, can you handle for 1 or 2 classes basics, sir?
Again,
Yeah.
we have a Google Drive. You can watch all of them. On top of that, if you have any questions, I can assist you one-to-one. I can take, if you need 1 or 2 extra sessions, I can take it on the weekends, either Saturday or Sunday. Some basics of Linux, some basics of SQL. So I can take 1 or 2 extra sessions on the weekends, either Saturday or Sunday. Who are interested, they can join. But again, basics of Linux and SQLs, only minimum students. Like, if I start teaching these basics, and then already the experienced people might be get bored. So I don't want to mess up that things. So I can take some extra sessions on the basics of Linux or the basics of SQL queries only on the weekends. And who are interested, feel free to ping me in our group, and then I can give the separate Zoom link and we can connect on the weekends. That can be done.
Hi Maulik, I have one query.
Yes.
So actually, I have done this course earlier, but at that moment, I didn't attend all the sessions live. So can I repeat this course?
All right. You can ping me in my WhatsApp number. I can connect with you after this demo session. We'll discuss that offline.
Okay.
All right.
Sir,
Yep, go ahead.
yes, sir. What about notes, sir?
Notes will be here in the Google Drive link one. You'll be already having your all the course materials, PPTs, workbook, lab exercise, and recordings, whatever the command I'm executing, all will be available. For example, if I quickly show you one, let's give me here. So I'll just open the previous batch recordings. Let's say I'm going to open this previous batch recordings here. Right. If you see this previous batch recording here, this is the recording. Let's say patching. If you open these patching recordings, so whatever the daily recorded sessions, note here. Right. So this is the daily recordings. You can watch the recordings. On the same time, we'll be having this notepad. Whatever the command I'm executing in my note, my lab exercise, so all will be copied here and then will be uploaded along with the videos. When you're referring that video, you can open this notepad, associated notepad, so that you can just copy paste that command, whatever I'm running here, when you are doing a hands-on lab exercise. So that it makes sense, the video and the notepad, what I executed, so that you can practice the same thing, what you are doing it. That is one way you can get all the notepads, all the concepts. And also we have this Google Drive link one where you have a course materials, all your course PPTs, all your course curriculum, all your workbook, lab exercise, all will be available in this link one. That you can refer that also. That also give you all the course materials.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Right.
Sir,
Yeah, go ahead.
sir, in this Google Drive, the videos of all courses are available only for DBA, core DBA. Now we're handling this will alone available, sir.
Only core DBS.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sure.
All right.
Let's
Hello,
talk.
sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Will be guiding the complete things, right? So do we have the list where the routine DBAs they will be doing tasks on the daily basis?
Right. That's a part of your cell scripting here. Where is that one? Okay, here. In this cell scripting, what are the day-to-day activities as a DBA are doing it? All will be discussed here.
Okay.
If I don't know whether I can navigate it quickly. I don't know. It'll be okay here. So as a it a cell scripting? No. Somewhere here. Right. As a DBA, what are your day-to-day activities? The database monitoring and how we can make this. Like, these are your database monitoring activities. As a DBA, daily, once I log in, I'll do hundreds of checks. My database instance is running or not. My listener is running or not. What is my table space usage? What is my file system usage? What are the users are connected? What are the inactive sessions, active sessions? And all those monitoring activities, once I start doing database monitoring, that's going to take 2 hours. I don't want to waste every day 2 hours. How can I make all of them as automation? So that's your cell scripting. You can put all those monitoring activities in a cell scripting and you can schedule them via cron tab. So all those monitoring activities will be discussed here. So will be like hundreds of activities what we are doing it on day-to-day basis. So all will be discussed here one by one command and then all you can put them into a cell script and you can write your own cell scripting automation like instance monitor, listener monitor, VARA errors, file system size, your arcala gap, your table space quota. And then all of them you can put together, bundle into a single cell script and you can schedule them via cron tab. Will be covered here.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
What about the certifications structure or
All right. So what are a minimum certifications as a DBA? What we can do it? Give me 1 second here. All right, sorry for that, guys. Okay, now Oracle certifications. What are the certifications we can expect? Very important things. Certifications is a very mandatory things for your resume is getting shortlisted. So most of the times, never got interview call. Applied for 1,000+ positions, but never got a call. Right? You might just feel like, I applied hundreds of openings in Naukri, in LinkedIn, but I never got a call. Why? That is because of the lack of certifications. Believe me, in the market for a single positions of the single openings, there will be thousands of resumes will be flooding. Right? Best example in my current organization with the recent one positions, we got thousands of resumes within a day. So as a HR or the talent recruiting team, how those resumes will be filtered? Like, for a single positions, if there's with thousands of resumes are flooding in every day, how that HR team or the talent team will be filtering out those resumes? Even though you are very brilliant in the database field, you know in and out, you know everything in the database field, but I'm not getting the interview call. My resumes, whatever I'm submitting, it is not, you know, screened. It is not getting selected. I'm not getting an interview call. One of the criteria is the poor resume writing, and the other criteria is lack of certifications. Most of the time, when the talent partner or the recruiting team, they will just look at a certification. Have you done any certificate, Oracle certifications? If you have done any Oracle certifications and you mentioned those certifications, logos, certification names in the resume, then highly chances that your resume is getting shortlisted for the next interview process. If you don't have certifications, then that will be a first place that will be get rejected. Right? That's where certifications plays very important role in your resume getting shortlisted. Once your resume getting shortlisted, further process will be your interview. And getting cleared that interview is all purely based upon your skill set. How much you learned, how much you have done hands-on, how much experience you have it, and how well or how better you performed in the interview. It's all on you to crack that interview. But to get selected for that interview, it's not in your hand. And then how you can make that your resume get selected for that position? Two things. You have to write your strong resume, and then your resume should be having these Oracle certifications. Once you have these Oracle certifications, your resume will be get shortlisted. Right? So then what are the minimum certifications as a DBA we can do it? One is your DBA certifications, and then RAC certification. So those are must certifications. As a DBA, you have to do it. Because if you think of any industry, whether it's e-commerce, whether it's insurance, whether it's a finance, whether it's a banking, any insurance sector or any sector who are using Oracle, they all will run under standalone databases or RAC databases. Any sector you can take it. Either they run their database as a standalone or they run databases as a RAC. Whether you can take your Oracle Exadata, Oracle ODA box, or Oracle Supercluster, or you can take a e-business suite, EBS, or OBI, or PeopleSoft, or any finance sector, or any insurance sector, or any banking sector. Anything who are running these Oracle databases, either they're running a standalone databases or the RAC databases. So for that standalone databases, you have to complete your DBA certificate, DBA certification, and for RAC database, you have to complete your RAC certificate. So what is the DBA certificate? It's a 19C OCP. It's a 19C OCP certificate. The exam code is 1Z0 082 and 83. So these are the two exams. This is a 19C admin 1 exam. And then this is a 19C admin 2 exam. So you have to complete these two exams. Once you exam, if you complete, that will be a 19C OCP certificate, you will get it. So that's a DBA certificate. As a DBA, if you're working for a client and you have to complete this certificate must. And if you're working as a rack admin, you're handling the rack databases, then you have to complete this rack certificate. And again, I'm not sure that rack certificate, it will be a 74. I have to think, I have to check, reconfirm this course. But this is your a rack certificate. Let me reconfirm that. Oracle rack certificate. Right. 74 or 78? Okay, 78, sorry. Right, this is your 19C Oracle rack exam. So those are the only two things. Even if you have, like, you are working as a Oracle DBA and you are having like 1 to 4, 5 years of experience, then mandatory you have to do this OCP certificate. And you are already having 5+ years of experience, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever experience, then you should be working on a rack and you should be able to complete this rack certificate. Right. On top of that, will be hundreds of certificate with Oracle. Your EBS certificate, your OBS certificate, your Exadata certificate, your OEM certificate, your Golden Gate certificate, your performance tuning certificate, and there'll be a lot of certificate for the specialization. But forget about those all the specialization. Your entire Oracle foundation depend upon these two certifications. Because any client, they may be either using a standalone databases, they may be using a rack databases. So these are like bare minimum certificate we had to do it before you go with that advanced certificate like OEM. I'm expert in OEM. I have to complete the OEM certificate. But forget about OEM. But your foundation is depending upon these two. So those are the certifications, the must certifications you have to do. Why? These certifications plays very, very important role in resume getting shortlisted for any other positions or the openings. Because for a single position, there will be thousands of resumes will be flooding in. How that screening will happen? A most fundamental screening, they will depend upon the certification. And other thing is there's how strong your resume and what are the keywords you use in resume. That's other things. But certification is one of the important criteria to screen your resume. All right.
And Malik,
Yep.
how can you guide us regarding certifications?
No, I lost you. It's echoing. Come again.
How can you guide us regarding this
Certificate.
certification?
It's part of the course.
Okay.
So this course is going to help. So if you are attending for the database course, you will be able to crack this OCP certificate. And we have a rack course, and if you're attending a rack course, you should be able to crack this rack certificate. This course is purely based upon these certifications. All right. Any more questions, guys, before we jump on to some of the concepts?
Hi, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, I'm new in this field, so I'm not in IT, but this and I right now I'm jobless right now. So I'm confused between two things, two streams. One is this is database that I want to know about it, and another thing is programming because and because fortunately, in the programming field, you can get a lot of video on the roadmap, what future aspects are, and what are the details, and how you move on. In what are the things you have to do. It is available on YouTube. Where in the database field, it is not very clear. I'm still not sure I should start get into this or in each team. I'm not
Got it.
talking about the course. Try to understand. I'm talking about my this
Got it. Got it. Yeah.
path.
No, we'll
So
do. No, I understand that. If you are a new, and then again, that's a career guidance.
yes,
Which
exactly.
path to take it? Whether I can go with the a database field, and do, if that to database field, if I decided which database can I choose for database Oracle, can I choose the MS SQL or any other database PostgreSQL, or if not database, can I go for some programming, maybe Java or .NET? Which one to choose? Again, that's based upon your interest, where how good you are in the programming. So how good at your logical thinking. So if you are good at programming and I know few of the things, then and I'm interested in developing fields, and then go for the programming one. I'm not good at programming and I don't know the logical concept and I'm very weak, then database is the best options. Because in the database field, you don't need of the programming, you don't need of that Java scripting or the .NET scripting. All those programming skills, we don't need it at the data field. That's the only the path you need to choose. Again, you can ping me in my WhatsApp. We can talk it offline. But the simple answer or definition, again, if you search in Google or YouTube, there'll be hundreds of videos, and you have to choose your path. How which field you are good at? Are you good at programming? I am like I'm already know C, C++. Then I'm good at that programming and logical thinking. Then go for the development skills. Learn the Java and then JSP, .NET, and then go for that. So I don't know anything on the programming. I never learned the C, C++. Then I am willing to learn. I'm interested in the programming. Then go for that. And totally, I'm new. I don't know the programming. I'm not ready to learn. I'm not ready to invest the time. Then I don't need a programming. It is confusing. Then go for the database field. So again, database field, no need of any programming. And then which database to choose, what database to learn. Oracle, MS SQL, PostgreSQL, MongoDB. There will be multiple databases. Which database to learn? Again, as we all know that Oracle is the champion, Oracle is the master and number one in the database field. And looking at the other opportunities outside, there will be a lot of opportunities for the Oracle databases. And other than Oracle databases, and compare with the opportunities, if you're not ready for Oracle and you want to go for some other database, and again you can learn that one. No, nobody is stopping you. But compared to opportunities wise, Oracle is the best one. And then you will get a lot of road, like lot of paths once you learn Oracle DBA, and then you'll get a lot of paths like which one to enhance my career, particular specialization in the Oracle I can go for. If I go for something open sources, MongoDB or PostgreSQL, then which one to learn? Once you learn with that one, and there won't be much opportunities over there. Right? Likewise, you have to choose that. Again, we can take it offline, but in simple definition, whether I'm good at programming, then go for the developing developing field. And if I'm not good at the developing, then go for the database skills. And again, in the database skill sets, which database to choose based upon your interest, you can choose it. But my recommendation is always go for the Oracle as the best options if at all you're going for the database skill sets. All right. Any more questions, guys, before we jump on to some technical discussions?
Yeah, hello, sir.
Yep.
Can I know what is the future of Oracle DB? That is moving on to container database like that.
Well, that's your CDBs and PDBs.
Okay, okay, sir.
That's one of your course here, one of your topics. Maybe chapter number right here, chapter number 10, your 19C multi-tenant architecture, CDBs and PDBs, how we
Okay.
can connect to CDB, how we can connect to PDBs, how we can clone your CDBs and PDBs, and how we can do administration on the CDBs and PDBs, how we can create a users inside your CDBs and PDBs. All those will be
In
explained.
future, this Oracle can move on to cloud, or what is the future, sir, in your point of view?
All already there's an integration. Oracle is engaging with your Azure cloud. You can see Oracle as a database in the Azure cloud.
Okay, sir.
Likewise, all Oracle is integrating with all AWS, Azure and GCP, all Oracle databases are available in the all the cloud platform. But doesn't matter whether your database runs on the cloud, whether your database runs in your local on-premise storage. A DBA job is remain same. You're
Okay.
gonna work as a DBA. And
Okay.
here and there, few of the tasks will be automated. If it is a cloud, the database installation will be single automation. Just go to UI and click create database, your database will be ready. But here, if it's not a cloud, then you have to create the database manually. So few jobs.
Malik, your voice is breaking actually.
How about now? Can you guys?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Yeah, now it's better.
All right, sorry for that. So what I'm talking, if it's a cloud, let's say you are going to that UI, single click, your database is ready. If it's not a cloud, you are going to install the database manually, step by step. So some of the tasks will be automated because of the cloud. But once the database is ready to manage, maintain, administrate the database, DBAs must. DBAs are mandatory. And imagine you went to UI, you click that create database button and creation failed. And again, DBA need. You have to go back and check for the logs, why it failed, what is the reason. So DBA jobs are must. However, with the cloud platform, few of the activities what DBA used to do manually, all will be automated, but not everything. So even it's any cloud, your DBA jobs will be always there forever. No confusion or no questions on that. But only as I mentioned, few of the tasks what DBA used to do, it's all automated because of the cloud.
Okay, sir.
All right. I'll give a pause for 1 more minute. If anyone has any questions so far on the course curriculum, course content, and fee structure, timing, duration, or the Google Drive, WhatsApp, or the payment method, whatever the prerequisites, what we
Hello,
talked
sir.
so far. Yep.
Can you cover 21C in this course?
No. This course is based upon 19C versions. All right.
Sir, is the payment made in 2 installments or a single payment, sir?
They can ping me that payment method, payment process. You can ping me one-to-one, and then I can guide you through that. What are the possible ways or options? I'll drive through that.
Okay, sir.
All right. With that, let's explore a few concepts. Again, it's a too early for anyone new who's like from the non-IT background. So if I start explaining some technical things, you may face that some difficulties. But again, not to worry. So once the regular class will start it on Monday. So did I mention that regular class timings? No. Let me cover that in a minute. So this is that course timing what we just discussed. And give me 1 minute. All right, sorry for that, guys. Okay, what I'm talking, the actual course. So the actual course we are starting it on coming Monday. So once we start it on the Monday, then weekly 3 days we'll be covering the concept. And then good part is once I cover the concept for the 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you will be having Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So Thursday and Friday you can try to perform the same lab exercise, whatever I'm doing it, explore the lab options, make your hands dirty, do a labs exercise and break your system and try to fix it. And on top of that, any challenges still unable to do it. So we can regularly connect on the weekend, Saturday or Sunday, and then I can take a look on your system, what issue you're facing, what challenge you're facing. You'll be getting that 4 days of time so that you can practice on your own phase and you can do a lot of hands-on. And then on top of that, more questions or queries, you can always post it in our WhatsApp group. That's how we can learn in a slow phase, but we can learn in depth everything. And then again, who are already working as a DBA, you want to complete in fast phase manner. As I already mentioned, you can feel free to watch the previous batch recordings on your own phase, like within a week or within 3-4 days, you can watch all those sessions and you can prepare your own questions and you can post all of them into WhatsApp group. Then I can connect with you and then I can clarify all those questions or queries, whatever you have it. Right. So with that, starting with this Monday, we'll be starting the regular classes. Feel free to ping me further for the registration. I can guide you through that registration and payment processing. Then we can see you on Monday for the regular sessions. Right. With now what I'm telling, I'll be talking about some of the basics here for today and tomorrow. I'll try to complete these 2 topics, the architecture networking, and remaining 4 topic we'll talk about tomorrow. So now again, you may face, if you're new, you may face some words, terminologies or difficulties, but starting with Monday, you can clarify all those questions or queries or all those terminologies will be clarified. But for now, you can stand by. So one of the common questions in most of the interview, can you brief about database architecture? So believe me, this is any interview you can go. This is your common question. Can you explain about database architecture? And then what is instance? What is database? Right? All of these questions are, what is HGA? What is PGA? What is your SMON, PMON, DB log rater? What is checkpoint? What is data file? What is control file? What is redo log file? Right? Again, there will be a lot of questions. What is password file? What is your alert log or trace files? Right? So there will be hundreds of questions. All these questions are related to your database architecture. Once you're able to understand database architecture, you can able to clearly or easily able to answer all these questions. Again, I just mentioned only few of the questions. You can see a lot of questions. What is recoverer? What is archiver? What is this log rater? What is your database buffer cache? What is your log buffer cache? What is your large pool? What is your Java pool? What is your stream pool? Again, there will be like hundreds of questions. Like, what is SMON? What activity? Why we need SMON? What is PMON? Why we need PMON? What is DB rater? Why we need DB rater? All these questions are part of your any interview, whether you're attending for 1 year of experience, 10 years of experience, or 15 years of experience. The architecture is foundation. Architecture is must and should. And any given point of time, even in the mid of the night, you are sleeping and somebody wake you up and ask, what is database architecture? And you should be able to explain that flawlessly. Right? You should be able to explain architecture at any point in time. That's your a core foundation. If you know in and out of database architecture, and you can handle any database issues. Right? So in a simple definition, let's say I have server. Let's say this is your Linux host. This is your Linux host. In this Linux host, I have installed my production database. right? So that production database will comes with the instance. Let's say make it maximize here. So it's gonna comes with your instance and then your database. Right, so this entire combination of your instance and database will form you database architecture. So your instance plus database is your database architecture, and that's nothing but your database server. Right, that's your foundation. Your database architecture or your database server is a combination of your instance and database. And what is this instance? This instance is again made up of a memory and then your BG process. So if I can write down in a definition, Oracle database server or Oracle database architecture. What is Oracle database server or what is Oracle database architecture? You can either say a combination of your instance plus database. Your combination of your instance and database is your database architecture or database server. And if I go in detail, what is instance? Instance is your logical structure, which is made up of memory plus a BG process. What I mentioned. What is this? If somebody asked what is instance, right? It's a combination of your memory and background process. Instance is the logical structure in database, which is a combination of your memory and background process. And again, if you further divide, what is memory in database architecture? A memory is made up of HGA plus PGA. So again, this particular memory, what I'm talking about, is made up of, let me, where is that one? Give me a second. Right, yeah. So your memory is made up of a component called SGA and component called PGA. So this memory itself made up of HGA and PGA, two memory component inside that instance. And if somebody asked again, there are a lot of questions. What is SGA? SGA stands for System Global Area or Shared Global Area. So this SGA internally contains your shared pool, your large pool, and your Java pool, your database, buffer cache, and your redo buffer cache. Okay, there are some writing by somebody. Let's me edit that. Okay. So what I'm talking database server or database architecture is a combination of instance and database. Instance is a logical structure which is made up of memory and background process. And that again memory internally made up of SGA and PGA. SGA stands for System Global Area or Shared Global Area, which is again made up of so many sub-memory components, shared pool, large pool, Java pool, database buffer cache, redo buffer cache, and again we have stream pool. Again, few more memory component, but regularly asked questions. Again, each of them has the individual job. What is, again, in the interview, you can ask what is shared pool, what is large pool, what is Java pool, what is database buffer cache, what is Redo buffer cache, what is stream pool. Again, these are comes to the individual questions in the interview, for sure. Again, in the shared pool, you might be having sub-component, data dictionary, cache, and your library cache. Right. So again, inside shared pool, you have data dictionary cache and library pool. Again, you may be asked in the interview, what is library cache, what is data dictionary cache, and what is shared pool, what is large pool, what is Java pool, what is database buffer cache, why we need that, what is Redo buffer cache, why we need that, what is stream pool, why we need that. Again, each of them has its own definition and its own task. And that is part of SGA. Again, part of PGA. PGA stands for your a program global area or private global area. Program global area or private global area. Again, inside this PGA, there are so many memory components, stack space, and your bit tree or your bitmap area, and you have temp area, you have sort area. Right? There are so many sub memory component inside your PGA. These are memory component inside memory, HGA and PGA. So inside HGA, again, so many sub memory component. Again, at this point, we'll not be going each and every concept and explaining here. This is your definition, how you can give it. In our regular classes, we'll talk about all this in definition, like, we'll go in depth and we'll define all of them, what's the task and why we need. So this is your memory structure in the inside instance. That's one part of the instance, memory. Other part of the instance is your background process. So in the background process, we have mandatory PG process, non-mandatory BG process. So mandatory BG process, we have SMON, we have PMON, we have DB writer, we have log writer, we have checkpointer. So these are like a mandatory background process. All this process has to be up and running because it's a mandatory for my instance to run. This process has to be up and running. If this process killed, your entire instance will go down. So SMON is stands for system monitor, PMON stands for process monitor. SMON has its own job. Why we need SMON? What is SMON and why we need SMON? What is PMON and why we need PMON process? What's the job of the PMON process? What's the DB writer? Why we need that? What's the job of the DB writer? What is log writer? What's the job of the log writer? Why we need the log writer? What is checkpointer? Why we need that checkpointer? Right, that is your a mandatory background process. Again, in our regular classes, we'll talk about each of these definition and work. Again, these, like right now itself, there's the hundreds of questions. All is mandatory questions in most of the interview. Right now, non-mandatory background process. We have again hundreds of non-mandatory background process. Archiver, recoverer, job queue, MON, MNL. So there'll be again hundreds of non-mandatory background process, and very rare you can get it in the interview. So they will not ask any questions around this, but they can ask, can you give example of few non-mandatory background process? Archiver, recoverer, job queue process, MON, MNLL. So all these are non-mandatory background process. Right, like for example, if I go to one of my lab here, so I have this DB database instance here. If I do a ps-ef grep smon, again, these are the command at Linux level. A ps stands for process list. What are the processes for this DB database? If I see, there will be a lot of processes here. What I talked about is PMON is a mandatory background process. What I talked about is DB writer is a mandatory background process. Log writer is a mandatory background process. Your checkpoint is a mandatory background process. Your SMON is a mandatory background process. So these are the mandatory background process what I talked. If these processes are killed or if this process is not healthy, your entire database instance will go down. And other than that, whatever this LREG, PXMN, MON, MN, MMNL, and job queue, archiver, these are like non-mandatory background process. Right, so that is a background process. Combination of your memory structure and background process will form you an instance, and that instance is a logical structure. So what I mentioned here, where is that? Right, instance is a logical structure, which is a part of your database server or database architecture. And what is database then? Database is a physical structure. So your all data files, or you can say end user data. Your whatever the end user data will be stored under this database. That's nothing but data file. Your database is a data files. The end user data will be stored here. For example, let's say this in simple definition to make it simple. Let's say this is your one of the ICICI bank. I'm taking some Indian bank here, ICICI bank, or let's say HDFC bank, or let's say any of the bank in India. Right, so this is your banking database and this is a production database. Let's say Malik, I'm a user. I'll go to one of the a branch. I can open my account and my account ID will be created 101. So then I deposit, let's say $100 or 100 rupees into my account. So this is your end user data. So I'll be getting my user ID and password, and then there'll be a front end application, ICICI Bank application here, the web application or mobile app. I log in with my user ID and password, and then what that login ID will do, that login ID internally from this application server, it's going to connect to my database instance. From the database instance, and then it'll go to your database, and from the database, it's going to get that details. So that's your data file. That's the end user data. So let's say I can add another $100 to my account, or I can transfer that $100 to my another user or another account. Same process. I log in with that application. That application server will connect to that instance. Via that instance, I can either add more data or I can remove that data from the database. That's the end user data where that actual data will be stored. So what you need to understand here, whatever that end user data will be stored under the database. The database is nothing but data files, a physical structure or the physical files where that end user data will be stored. It may be any banking transaction, all the banking details all will be stored here. So in order to read this data or in order to do any transaction or in order to check what is my balance, in order to add some amount into that my account or in order to transfer any amount to my other bank account, only way is to I have to first connect to instance. Via instance, I can able to read and write or delete or data whatever operation I want to do. So instance is very must thing to access your data, the end user data. Who is going to connect to that instance? That end user is going to connect to that instance. There will be thousands of users. All those users will be connecting to that instance to do their transactions. How they are connecting? They are connecting via that application server. It may be your web browser or it may be a mobile application. You can log in with your user ID and password. And then once you log in, you will be connected to instance. You will not be connected to database. You will be connected to instance. And whatever the transaction you want to do, you do at instance level, instance side. And that instance will be facilitated to do the transaction. Either do a money transfer or you can add a money, whatever operation you want to do it in your account, you're going to do it at your instance side and that transaction will be carried to your database and store the data, end user data here. Right? That's a simple layman term understanding how this database works. So your actual end user data will be stored under this database or the data file physically. And this instance is a logical facility where the user can connect and do the transaction. It may be insert, update, delete, or whatever the transaction. So imagine each bank account may be thousands of users. All those thousands of users will be connected to this instance. As a DBA job, make sure that your instance is up and running. If the instance is down, nobody can able to access the database. Right? So that database is nothing but your end user data. So here is that one. So database is the physical structure, and that's the data files. That's the end user data. So there will be multiple data files. System data files, sysocs data file, and temp data file, and user data file. System sysocs, and again there will be so many other data files. So these are your must for any database. On top of that, you can add a number of data files. You can add hundreds or 200s of data files. So in my lab here, this is my dev database instance. If I go to the data files, right? So I have this all temp, user, system, undo, sysocs, whatever I mentioned. These are like must data files for any database to run. That's more than enough. If somebody asked what is database architecture, or if somebody asked any of this individual component, and if you're able to explain this much of concept, that's more than enough. How this transaction works, how select query works, how insert query works, how that end user connection authentication works, that's a different story. But if somebody asked about database architecture, you should be able to explain about database architecture, the instance and database. Instance is again logical structure made up of memory and background process. Database is a physical structure, that's nothing but your data files or the end user data. Again, if they go in deeper, we can explain about memory. Memory is nothing but SJ and PJ. Inside SJ, we have so many subcomponent. Inside PJ, we have so many subcomponent. And in the background process, we have mandatory and non-mandatory background process. Each of them has its own specific task. And then this much of is your database architecture. Right. So on top of that, is that enough? So this is your simple definition. It is enough for your database architecture explanation. But there are so many other supporting files for your database to function. Right here. I remove all of this. Right. Your database. All of this. Right. Your database instance and your database to work functionally properly, we have a lot of other supporting files. Like for example, we have init file or sp file or parameter file. Again, why we need this init file, sp file, parameter file? Like I can say other supporting file. Other supporting file for your database operation. Other supporting files for your database operation like init file or the sp file or parameter file. And we have control file. We have redo log files. And we have archive log files. Again, each of them has its own definition. What is init file? What is sp file? What is parameter file? What is there inside that? Why we need that? What is control file? What is there inside? Why we need that? What is redo log files? Why we need them? What is inside that? What are archive log files? And then a password file. So these are like other supporting file for your database operations. And then we have other diagnostic files for troubleshooting. So my database instance is crashed. My database is not functioning well. My database is poor performance and some errors in my database or errors in my database instance. What are the diagnostic files? We have alert log, we have trace files or TRM files, we have core dump files, and we have incident files. All of them are available in one single place for your diagnostic. So somebody asked what are the day-to-day activities. So we will be keep on monitoring. Is there any alerts in the alert log? Is there any trace files for that alert? Is there any code dump or instant dumps are getting created? So we'll be as a DBA job, we'll be monitoring these. And if there's a code dump generated, instance generated, or if there's a Vara alert in the alert log file, as a DBA, we need to take a look of that and fix them. These are your diagnostic files for the troubleshooting if there's any issue on the database side or the instance side. And my database or database instance to work functionally properly, we need other supporting files. These are your supporting files. Your database to work function fine, you need all of them. Right, and then your actual database is your end user data. So all will be stored here in this particular database. Again, your end user data will be stored under this user data files, but we have the system, sysocks, temp, and undo for other operations. Your database operations, you need that the metadata will be stored under this system, sysocks. For any temporary operation, sorting, ascending order, descending order will be using this temp data file. Any old value will be kept under this undo data file. So we'll explain all of these data files in our regular classes. But again, these are your overall architecture. If somebody asked about to explain about database architecture, if you start explaining all this concept in details, and that's the first place they will decide whether to select you for the next or not. Because at any given point of time, as a DBA, you should know in and out of your database architecture how it works. Right, I'll take a pause here. Any questions so far? Again, not much technical. And if you go ahead and ask me to explain any of this concept, I'll not be able to explain because if I try to explain it, it'll be too early for you guys. We have to go step by step in our regular classes. Then you can understand these concepts.
Malik, what is the difference between code dump file and incident file?
Again, that depends what is your alert message.
Okay.
What alert you got it based upon that, whether to read the code dump or instant dump will decide.
Hello, sir.
Yep.
So actually, you are explaining this concept once again, or this is the that's
That's a
also
high level. I'm just giving you. Again, I have never explained anything.
okay, 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 sir.
Each and everything you have to go. You have to
Okay,
go
okay,
in
okay.
detail. What is SGA? What is PGA? What
Oh,
is
okay,
stateful?
okay,
You have to
okay,
go
okay.
one by one. Because each of these job has, each of these component has your hundreds of jobs. We have to go each and every in depth in our regular class.
So,
But
sir,
I'm
what is
talking about,
yeah.
yeah.
What is meant by instance, sir? It is like a RAM and ROM, secondary storage and primary storage, or it is another concept like that?
It's a RAM and like let's say what is RAM? Memory.
Yes, yes.
So that RAM, the memory will be getting here. Like if this server, let's say I said Linux server,
Okay,
and this Linux server has let's say 10 GB RAM,
okay,
and this Linux server has let's say 100 GB hard disk.
okay,
So the moment you create your instance, you are going to define how much memory you want it. Here SGA and
oh,
PGA.
okay,
So
okay,
out of this 10 GB, you're going to define, okay, I want SGA 5 GB, I want PGA 2 GB. So
okay,
this whatever the Linux server RAM 10 GB, out of that we'll be defining that memory for this
okay,
instance for my
okay,
database operations.
okay, okay,
And then whatever this end user data, that's a database. I told that's a physical storage
okay,
right here. Database is a physical structure.
okay,
The data files are the end user data, or you can say physical storage. So that
okay,
database depend upon your server
storage. Let's say the server has 100 GB, you're going to store that data, end user data into that storage. Let's say I'm going to store it today, 10 GB. So maybe after 10 days or after a month, the end user has done a lot of transaction. They added more and more data. This will be grows by 10 GB to 20 GB
Okay.
or 20 GB to 30 GB or 30 GB to 100 GB. So the moment it full, your storage is full, your database will crash because server has only 100 GB and your database has used that entire 100 GB and we don't have any more storage. So we can increase that storage. And right now I have assigned 7 GB for my database instance operations.
Okay.
And currently there is 100 users are connecting to my database. It is good working fine. And after 6 months or after 1 year, 100 users become 200 users. And this instance memory, whatever this 5 GB and 2 GB is not enough.
Yes,
So
sir.
your instance will crash and instance performance issue comes. Then we can increase this. Okay, this memory is not enough. I can make it 6 GB and I can make it 3 GB. 6 plus 3, 9 GB. So, but I had 10 GB. So again, after 1 more year, few more users are trying to access, more and more users are trying to access my database. My instance will be get crash. So I can
Okay.
ask my Linux admin, can you increase the memory? He can increase it to 20 GB. Then I can increase my SG and PGA.
Yes, sir. It is database is like body and this instance is like soul, like that I'm thinking. It's
Right,
correct.
right. So this is the logical one. So to
Yes.
support these physical files, you need this logical structure. So any user data will be stored under these physical files, the storage files, but that user cannot access the data directly. He has to connect to this instance first. Like, Malik user has to connect to instance and he has to read that data. You want to do any transaction, insert, update, delete, he has to use connect to this instance only. Then only you can able to read the data, whatever you stored.
Okay.
All right.
Sir, and I just want to ask you,
Yes, go
per
ahead.
week is 3 days, right? Like Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So how many days in total?
How many days? That's 35 to 45. Where was that? Right here. Your class, the total live classes, Monday to Wednesday, it will be around 30 or 35 or 40. So we'll be able to complete. But if you include those weekends, it may go for more than 2 months.
Malik,
All right.
can you include the dispatcher, shared server mode, dedicated server mode concepts also in
Right.
architecture?
Yes, we can talk about that.
Okay.
All right. So any questions so far on the architecture wise or anything on the concept wise or the core structure? Otherwise, we are right on time. I'm gonna wrap it for now. We'll continue tomorrow. Tomorrow we can continue from there. Right now I talked about just database architecture. I'll talk about networking, some Linux basics, rack concept, Java databases, and any other questions we'll take it in tomorrow's session.
Okay, sir, too much. Yeah. Sorry, sir. Just 2 quick questions.
Yep.
And are we going to use the Linux or Windows?
Linux.
That's the first question. And
Linux.
also, are we just Linux?
Yep.
So is it possible that we can also try Windows?
Windows, again, I already told in the very beginning of this class, right? This is purely based upon Linux and nothing will be covered on Windows. But again, if anyone interested on Windows, I can take 1 or 2 sessions, maybe on the weekends. Or if you have any questions, you can always use our WhatsApp group. Even though you are working or supporting on Windows, you can post your questions on the WhatsApp group. I can answer to that query, but I don't have any live demo or session to show or cover any topic on the Windows. It's all purely based upon Linux.
Yeah, I think in the previous sessions I've seen some videos about Windows installation and how Oracle
Right.
is used in Windows, etc. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that is because I worked on both Windows, Linux, AX, HP UX. So, I know that. But this course is majority on Linux, nothing on Windows. But again, if you have any questions, queries, or any topic, specific topic you want to discuss, I'm happy to take it. And that too outside of this course, maybe on weekends or after the end of this course. anything related to Windows or anything you want will be taken as the extra topic, 1 or 2 classes. But this course is purely based on Windows. So, sorry, based on Linux.
Yeah, so regarding the previous videos,
Yeah.
are there any previous videos which are based on Windows?
No. On my
Which we can
channel, on my channel or on my Google Drive, I don't have anything specific to Windows. No recorded or no sessions. All right. Any more questions, guys, before we wrap it up today?
Yes, sir. So one last question. One question. How much of the Linux is required to understand? Because I can see a lot of Linux command you're running. So that's
how much of
Linux topic that I should cover, or certain topics are required to be covered in Linux before getting into this.
No,
And
just a basic command. You just Google it. So basic Linux command, that's more than enough.
Sir, even in the DB is main right now you are covering that in course it works because certain commands I Google it and do it. But in the real environment also, if I have to means to
Again, basic Linux command, that's more than enough. There will be hardly around 60 to 70 basic command. That's more than enough. Whatever we're doing is ls-ltr, cd, and whatever I'm doing is ps-ef. So this basic command is more than enough for you to work as Linux along with this database.
Okay.
So you no need to learn what is boot mode, grub mode, and how to boot it, how to go to your single user mode and crash. That's all Linux admin part who will take care of that. But whatever this command, that's more than enough for a DBS. Whatever we're running, like even though you can easily learn. So if you whatever command I'm running, just take that command and search it in Google. What is this ps command? What is this ps-ef will do? What is this grep will do? So you can just explore more in Google. You'll get a lot of options.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank
Hello,
you.
sir.
Yep.
Yeah, sir. Please help us regarding this basics of SQL Linux commands, sir. 1 or 2 classes like that.
Yeah, will be taken on the weekends.
Okay.
All right. So, any more questions, guys, before we wrap it up for today? All right. We'll take it as a no. We'll continue tomorrow. Tomorrow, probably, we'll start with some more basic concept on networking, Linux, and some of the rack concept and difference between standalone and rack. And then we'll continue our regular classes from Monday. All right, guys. Let's take a break. See you tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, bye.
Thank you, Malikaji.
Thank you all. Bye.